Hello folks, Fuzz here, welcome to Sonic Forces, a brand new series that I've very much been looking forward to covering on my channel, being quite the Sonic fan, it has to be said. So I thought we'd start this series off by having a look at the DLC that everybody gets as part of purchasing the game, and that's episode Shadow, so we'll go and dive straight into that today. And it is a prequel, so it is recommended you play through the game first. But I want to go ahead and see what it's all about, so let's get started with that. As always, guys, if you do enjoy these episodes, don't forget to leave a like and be subscribed to the FuzzfingerGaming YouTube channel. Episode Shadow, we're going to go for new game. It does say continue because I've literally clicked the new game button, but that's all I did. As soon as the cutscene started, I quit back to the menu, so I'm not sure what to expect with this. It was 1 month before the Doctor took over the world, the first time I encountered him.
Shadow, we've got a report from the Intelligence Division. They've located an unknown base of operations that seems to be totally outside the chain of command for Eggman's army. There's a large-scale troop presence, suspiciously large for a place with no strategic value.
I can't imagine the Doctor would do something like that without reason.
No kidding. And there's a rumor going around that old rotten Eggman has been developing some kind of new weapon. So...
yeah. Looks like this won't be your garden variety recon mission.
do it to it, Shadow. Omega went on ahead of you, so you can link up with him on site.
I'm more than enough on my own. I'll handle things my way.
Omega said the same thing. You two go together like chili and hot dogs.
Cut the chatter. I'm on my way.
So there's multiple stages. I've heard that might be 3 stages as part of this DLC, but I could be wrong on that, and I'm willing to be corrected should there be more or less. So the first stage is City, and it says Enemy Territory. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We don't know a whole lot about this at the moment. So as you can see, we can get the 5 red stars, and I believe there's more collectibles that unlock should you manage to do so as well. At least there is in the main game. I'm assuming that's the case as well with the episode Shadow. And I'm also playing on PC, I should probably point that out. I'm actually using a PS4 controller, so I'm having to make do with the Xbox 360 prompts, or the Xbox prompts that are on the screen. They don't actually match up with my controller, so we'll see how we get on with that. If we get any quick time events, hopefully I'll get through them. Let's get started. This initial video then is more of a showcase of the Shadow DLC, so I don't plan on perfecting the levels. That said, I will be returning to them and showing you the locations of all the collectibles at a later point in time. The idea then for these levels that are part of the free DLC that, as I say, everybody can download if you don't have it already, is that we get to explore some of the origins of Infinite, and we do so through the eyes of Shadow here. And we get to take him through these initial stages, and as I said, I believe there's 3 in total in order to do that. And then I'm pretty sure later on we can actually take Shadow as a selectable, optional, playable character through some other levels as well. It's interesting actually, as I said, I'm playing on the PC version, and I just checked the Steam reviews, and it said they were universally negative, and apparently there's a huge amount of bugs at the moment in the PC version. But I've also just noticed, as well as I'm playing this, that there's also another update being downloaded. Like literally within an hour or so of the game being released, they've had to put out an emergency patch update, which apparently addresses a lot of the concerns from those reviews, which mainly involve bugs involving crashing, especially in regards to the main Sonic levels and the Avatar levels. So that's why I thought as well, be a good opportunity to start off with the Shadow DLC, since I didn't see a lot of people complaining about that, and indeed it seems to be running alright. But hopefully then, once that update's downloaded, it's only about 80 megabytes, then the initial patch, that initial patch will fix those initial bugs. It still amazes me actually how in 2017 it does sadly seem that PC players often get shafted in terms of releases and ports, and so many games are released just buggy as heck still, aren't they, on the PC, which is really unfortunate. But anyway, back to the game, and that's the first of the 3 shadow levels completed. Obviously, as I say, we've got to go back and get the red ring stars, but let's move on.
The world's most powerful robot is no more a challenge than crab meat. As I suspected, this power is without peer. It is the ultimate strength. Ah, and still more wonderful. A not-so-tall, dark, and brooding guest has arrived. I've been waiting for you, Shadow. Tell me what you did to Omega. Weaklings like him are of no consequence. Come now, Shadow. A long-awaited reunion, and still you spout such nonsense. I don't know you. And the only thing of no consequence around here is that big mouth of yours. Ah, I suppose you would think so. Oh, yes. I am infinite. You say you do not know me, and yet I remember you so very well. To you, it was simply another in a long list of Eggman bases you tore down without a second thought.
Okie dokie. A couple of months ago. Okay, so this is the next level now that we're going to be playing through. And it's Eggman's facility in Mystic Jungle. I haven't played through the main game yet, as I mentioned, but I'm wondering if this might be a level from the main game. I guess I'll find out as I go through that.
We've got an intruder. Shadow has entered the facility. Defense squad Jackal has already been completely annihilated. All available troops, intercept that blasted hedgehog by any means necessary.
And I realise that some of the sound's a little bit quiet. I will sort that out from the next episode. It's a little bit too late for this one since I've already recorded all this. But going forward, I'll just turn the game volume up a touch.
Should have hired some defense squads for the defense squad.
Okay, so the bulk of this level takes place in these aqueducts. And it can be a little bit tricky, I noticed, to control Shadow going through here. You don't get a whole lot of movement with the analog or D-pads as you, you know, switch left to right and what have you. And one of the things I was glad that I did actually was avoid all the spoilers. It was quite unfortunate actually. This game was leaked about a week ago actually, a week before the release date. I'm playing this right now on the release day. And it's been leaked about a week ago. And a lot of people were discussing it and whatnot on the Reddit forums for Sonic the Hedgehog. So I was really pleased to be able to, you know, resist actually going and reading those threads and whatnot. Because I really didn't want to spoil this game for myself, especially not in terms of the story. I mean, it's Sonic. The story is obviously only going to be a means to bring the gameplay to life. And I do die a few times here, so I'll just warn you about that. I'll skip ahead, in fact. But the spoilers I avoided are in terms of the level design, how many levels, what the bosses are like, the ratio of modern levels compared to Avatar and classic levels. All of that is stuff I really wanted to discover for myself, which is why right now I am playing blind. And it's not because I wasn't interested in finding out those things. I just really wanted to discover them myself. So I'm going to find out, I guess, how this game compares to Generations. And it's really been that long since we had a Sonic game on PC, hasn't it? Apart from Mania, of course. Oh, there was that one as well, wasn't it, that was released on Wii U. Was that released on PC? I think it was. I can't even think what it's called. Lost World. Couldn't get into that. I tried and I just didn't enjoy the controls of that game. The way that you went upside down and stuff on the other side of the levels and all that. It worked in Super Mario Galaxy, but didn't seem to work in Lost World, at least not for me.
Your squad was useless. Go clean up their mess already.
Yeah, I got it. You destroyed my squad. I'll show you why they call me the ultimate mercenary. Take Don't show your pathetic face around me ever again. I'm shaking. Me? Afraid? Pathetic? Me? He's calling me weak? No, I am not weak. I'm not. I'm not weak. I am not weak. Ah! That day, I gave up my own unsightly face. I let go of the old me, the one that was so weak, so that I could become stronger. And then, at last, I obtained the power to make all yield to my will. I was reborn.
Okay, so what we got next for the final level? Back to 1 month before Dr. Eggman took over the world. So we've got the third and the final stage to enjoy at this point.
I am because of you, yet you don't remember. But I suppose that's the way it goes. It simply means that the old me was too weak, too pathetic to remember. And now you've become nothing more than an insect, waiting to be crushed underfoot. Thanks to this limitless power I have obtained, I have become unstoppable. Take this!
And the third stage takes place in Green Hill, and it's called Virtual Reality. So this is actually a fun level. I did record the commentary after I played through it, and I really did enjoy playing this level. I'm looking forward to going back to it again. So those red illusions that you can see, you need to avoid those. Unless you want to die swiftly, then you can run into them. But I was actually able to get all of the 5 red ring stars in this level as well on my first attempt, which was something I didn't expect to be able to do, quite frankly, but they was all in fairly accessible locations. And I do like the way that, even though this is modern Shadow, of course, it's done from a classic perspective now, from the side-scrolling perspective. So we get a bit of variety here in the DLC. Didn't mean to do that. Your ranking at the end of the level is based on your time, at least partly. Now, one thing you'll notice, and not just in the DLC here, but even in the main game, is that there's no lives. So you can't lose lives. You'll just restart at the checkpoint every time you die. But your time doesn't reset. So it continues on from before you died. And it just continues on from that point. So it will affect your ranking when you die, because going back to the checkpoint is obviously going to cost you time. So when you're just, making your way through the levels for the first time, as I'm doing here, that's not going to be a big deal, and it's quite handy, I guess, not having to worry about lives and stuff. But when you're trying to do the rankings and get good times and whatnot, then death isn't really going to be an option if you want to get good times with those. Now, I had no idea that that red star ring was actually down there. I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to check, and it was. So we just need the final one now, and we'll be done. And I like the music in this zone as well. When I first saw the trailer for Sonic Forces, I was a bit concerned about the music, because it just seemed a little bit out of, a little bit too, I don't want to say too modern, I don't want to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but it just wasn't really my type of music. But now that I'm actually playing the game, I'm not minding it all that much. So this one here, I just have to be careful so we don't die as we get it. There we go. So now we have the collectible red rings. We can just make our way over to the end of the level. And as I say, this is my first time playing through this level, so I was quite pleased we've been able to get those on my first attempt. And we'll Just boost through here, trying to avoid all the damage as we go. Actually, talking about the music, I know I said it was modern a moment ago, but it's actually reminded me of something out of the train spotting films, perhaps the first one when they're all clubbing. Oh, that takes me back. I never thought at any point in my life a Sonic game would give me nostalgia for the train spotting movies. I never cease to be surprised. Okay, so let's just try and find an opening here. There we go, let's go, 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 go. Yeah. So I'm guessing we're just coming up to the end now at this point. And yes, we have to actually make our way through an opening here in order to reach the end of the level. There was one there, but I missed it. Let's try that again. Let's go now. Oops. Actually missed the spring. We'll go on the next one. Go now. Just a little bit before. There we go. Oh, there's some rings and stuff to get there as well. Alright then guys, well that'll bring us to the end of this particular episode, because that's the final level. So I'll show you the ending cutscenes, but I'm going to say goodbye to you now. So thanks for stopping by. If you want to see more Sonic Forces, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you then, I hope. Take care. Thank you for joining me. Oh yes, please don't forget to subscribe as well if you do want to see more. Cheers all. Take care.
Rouge, are you telling me the truth?
What's the point of lying about it? Eggman got a beat on Sonic and mounted a massive assault. I mean, sure, A for effort, but it's nothing to worry about. We've got the advantage now. Sonic is there too, so I don't think it's a big enough deal for you to head out.
Not even Sonic will be able to stand against me now. I can't imagine the Doctor would do something like that without...
Shadow, this is not good. Hurry, get over there.
What is it, Rouge? What happened?
Is everyone okay?
We are, thanks to you. Cutting it kind of close though, pal.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I roll. Okay, let's finish this, Eggman.
It will be your finish, Sonic. Behold the power of my ultimate masterpiece!
Huh? Shadow, it's you? Zavok! Metal! Chaos! Huh?
Whoa, this guy is faster than Sonic.
Whoa!
No, wait, it's something else. Gotta scan him and figure this out.
What are you? How are you doing? Oh!
Nice.
Tails? I need to know what's going on with this guy.
I'm trying, Sonic, but these readings are all messed up. They don't make any sense.